All right, here with Reaction, Florida Congresswoman, Republican Anna Paulina Luna is with us. Anna, great to see you. Thank you for being with us. All right, so everyone makes a $30 million mistake in terms of their financial disclosure form, right? That's kind of common in Washington.
Not too common, although they can be complicated. And for people like myself, we usually hire attorneys to help with that. When there's that type of error, typically what would happen is you bring this to congressional ethics and they launch an investigation. And if you're innocent, you can provide documentation, right? But Sean, as you can see, Congress does have a problem, especially with some of the corruption that we've recently exposed in the last week or so with, the resignation of 3 members of Congress, of which I personally helped lead part of the charge on. But again, if this is indeed true, I would urge the speaker to look through congressional ethics, of which it does need to overhaul. But, that's a big rounding error.
What do you make of, for example, Omar no-show at a hearing focused on the Meals Act? That's the COVID-19 relief measure passed in 2020, sponsored by Omar. All of this money going to daycare centers, hospice places, COVID corruption, the money that was supposed to go to businesses and people that were in desperate need at that time. Nobody seems to care.
Look, as members of Congress, especially for things like this, specifically outlining especially the amount of fraud that was involved, we're expected to show up. And I think that, to not show gives the appearance that you're covering up or that you're hiding something. But I also want to point out that I did give criminal referrals to the Department of Justice for the governor and the attorney general of Minnesota because of the fact that I did feel that there was a play for pay scheme, that they were breaking federal law. And I am asking the DOJ to follow up on those criminal referrals. But again, what's happened in Minnesota, I think, is just a small example of what's happening nationally. Kudos to Nick Shirley for exposing all of that. And I think that there's a lot of stuff coming out of California as well.
Yeah, now California wants the Nick Shirley Act to silence Nick Shirley, who's done a great job and now has to have full-time security. Unbelievable. All right, Anna Paulina Luna, thank you. Appreciate you being with us up. All right, thanks for watching. Check out my new podcast, Hanging Out with me, Sean Hannity. The big interviews, the debates you won't get anywhere else. Like and subscribe for new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday.